my channel. I'm Beth Eland. We're going to do a gentle yoga flow today. It's going to be pretty empowering, really foundational. So for that, for me, like whenever I work with the legs, I just think about it being the foundation of what we do walking every day. Our legs do a lot for us. So it's always good to be nice to them. So feel into your body and know when something is too much for you. And let's go ahead and begin. You can take a cross-legged seat, like you see I am here, or you can sit on your heels. Take note of how our breathing is today. Don't judge your breath, just let it breathe. It's really an automatic thing. Close your eyes here if that's comfortable for you. Now we're going to take slight control of the breath. If you notice, breathe into your belly. So on the inhale, feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, your navel moves in towards your spine. And for now, keep the breath only in this area. Slow it down. Inhale as much as you can. And exhale all the air out. Awesome. So after a few rounds of that, we're going to go ahead and start with our movement. Go ahead and come onto all fours. So your shoulders are over your wrists, your hips are over your knees. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So on your in-breath, dip your chest and your belly and lift your gaze. And on the exhale, bring your navel up towards your spine and round into this Halloween cat shape. Inhale, dip down, shoulders roll back. Exhale, round it in. Do a few rounds on your own breath. Notice how this movement is similar to just the breathing we were doing. Your stomach poking out on the in-breath and sucking in on the out-breath. A few rounds. Make sure you try to feel this in the lower spine and the upper spine as well. After the next one, you can come back to your neutral tabletop pose. From here, lift your right leg up behind you so it's about parallel to the ground. Your toes will be facing down towards the mat and really lift that thigh up. You can always just stay here if you want. If you want more challenge, you can take your left arm, bicep along the ear, and just parallel to the ground. Balance here. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed between your right uh, hand and your left knee. Exhale, lower that down. And inhale, lift your left leg up. We're doing the same thing on this side. You can hold that there. Lift your right arm up if you did it on the other side. And hold here for a minute. And keep your abs nice and engaged here so you're uh, all the way from your fingertips to your heel. It's flat. It's like parallel to the ground. Exhale, lower. You can inhale, bring your right leg back up again. And exhale, bring that knee towards your chest and put that foot next to your right thumb. You're going to stack your knee over your ankle and go ahead and come on up. Your spine is nice and straight here. Hips are square to the front of the mat. I like to put my hands on my hips so I know that they're not crooked or anything. Sometimes this right hip likes to scoot forward. Just make sure it's nice and square. Dip your tailbone is pointed straight down. Couple breaths here. If you feel confident, you can lift your arms up overhead. And if when you do this, it feels off balance, it might be your feet, your foot, and your knee should be about hip width distance apart. So that makes it easier to balance here. A few breaths. On your next exhale, go ahead and straighten that front leg and kind of fold over it. You can flex your foot. And if you touch the mat here, that's fine. Keep your back straight so you're folding over, but everything is straight. So you'll feel a big hamstring stretch with this one. And if you can't reach the floor, that's fine. You can always just lean. You can put your hands on your hips. Rebend that front foot. Plant your palms. Frame that foot again. And bring it back behind you. Back to your tabletop pose. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Bend your knee into your chest. And plant that foot next to your left hand. Same thing. Stack your knee over your ankle. You can place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. And take a few nice breaths here. Really feel the length in your spine. Feel your tailbone pointing straight to the mat. Maybe lift your arms up overhead. You can also do like a cactus shape with your arms here if you want a little more stretch in your chest. I like this one today. On your next exhale, go ahead and straighten that front foot. Flex your foot. Keep your back nice and straight as you fold over that leg. Go ahead and plant your foot back down. Frame that foot and go ahead and bring your left leg back behind you. All right. Go ahead and tuck your toes under. Really push into your fingertips and knuckles here. And then you're going to lift your knees up off the mat and raise your hips up towards the back corner of the ceiling. This is your downward facing dog. You can really bend your knees generously here. Our main focus is the length in the spine. So try to make sure your spine is as straight as possible, in line with your arms. Let your head hang in between your biceps. And it can hang heavy if you want, like a bowling ball. Just kind of relax it down. Now walk your feet towards your hands. Hang heavy here. Knees bent generously. Again, your head is like a bowling ball here. Just let yourself dangle. If your hands touch the mat, you can go ahead and put your fingertips into the mat so that your shoulders don't get too close to your ears. And take a big inhale through your nose and sigh out the mouth. Inhale, lift halfway up so your back is parallel to the ceiling. You can put your hands on your shins here. Exhale, fold back down, bend your knees. And inhale, come all the way up. I like to trace my legs. Move one vertebra at a time. Your head is the last thing to come up. And palms shine forward. This is Tadasana, your mountain pose. Make sure your feet are parallel, hip width distance apart, and your toes are pointed towards the short edge of your mat. Knees are bent ever so slightly. Don't lock them out. Chest lifted. Shoulders fully relaxed. You can close your eyes if it's comfortable. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the arms up, palms facing up, up overhead, meet at prayer, and come down to heart center. So your hands are in prayer at heart center. And one more of those. Inhale, arms down, around and up, overhead, meet at prayer, and come on down to center. From here, step your left leg back behind you. Your feet are still about hip width distance apart. And your back foot is about 45 degrees here. And then we're going to stack your knee over your ankle like we did in our first one. And here, hips are square to the front. Same as before, it's just a little higher. And you can stay here with your hands on your hips if you'd like, or you can do any arm variations I mentioned before, arms straight up or in a cactus shape. Gaze is soft and steady, straight in front of you. Few breaths here. And your next in breath, go ahead and straighten that front leg. Place your hands back on your hips. Keep your back straight and just fold straight forward. However far it is for you. If you're really bendy, you might go down pretty far, but for me, I don't have to go very far at all to get a pretty intense sensation here. A few nice deep breaths here. Breathing into your belly like we learned earlier. Inhale, lift yourself up, and go ahead and step back to the front of the mat. Bring your arms down, around, and up. And exhale, hands come through prayer. One more of these. Inhale, down, around, and up. And exhale, hands come through prayer. And go ahead and fold forward into your forward fold again. Bend your knees generously here. Shake your head out. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold down again. And inhale, come all the way back up. Arms down, around, and up. And back through prayer. We're going to do the same sequence on the second side now. So go ahead and take your right leg behind you. Again, your feet are like they're on train tracks, hip width distance apart, and this foot is about 45 degrees. Your toes are pointed towards the longer edge of the mat. Bend that front knee until it's about right above the ankle. And you can always keep your hands at prayer too in this one if you'd like. I would like to make sure of where my hips are. Put your hands there. Make sure they're nice and square, nice and tucked in. A few nice long breaths. And inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, keeping your back nice and straight. You're folding forward. And really breathe into your hamstring. Like you're breathing into your belly, but just imagine your breath is in your hamstring. It actually can't be there, but just like energetically feel into that sensation. Exhale, bend that knee, bend down and frame that foot. Bring your left leg behind you into your downward dog again. And notice any changes here. Notice how your legs might feel different. Your hamstrings are nice and stretched out now. And bring your knees down to the mat here. You can bring your hips down to your heels and fold over your thighs. If your head reaches the mat, that's great. If it doesn't, you can stack your hands here and take a few breaths. If your head does reach the mat, you can reach your arms behind you as well here. Very nice and relaxing pose. Plant your palms beside your head. Pull yourself back up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Now we're going to go ahead and fold forward. For me, I like to have a cushion for this whenever I do a seated forward fold. Just because my hips are not very flexible and my legs are not very flexible. So I don't go very far. And when my hips are over my knees, it helps my hips kind of roll forward a little bit better. So when I sit on the edge of this cushion, my hips roll forward a little better. I can inhale, feel my spine going straight up. Sometimes I'll reach up just to feel this elongation and exhale, fold forward over my legs. When you take this posture, try to relax your hamstring. Usually when I do this one, I like to hold it for several minutes. We're not going to do that today. We're only going to hold it for several breaths. But the more you can let your hamstrings relax, the more you'll actually feel the stretch in your low back. So like in the kidney bands, you'll feel a nice, gentle, rejuvenating feeling. You can push yourself back up. Take your right leg and plant your foot on the opposite side of your thigh. So like you see me doing here. Go ahead and wrap your left arm around there and put your right hand behind your back. And you're not pulling yourself into this twist. Your low back is staying where it was. You're just kind of twisting from the upper body. Not searching for anything, no sensation searching. Just twisting from your abs. Go ahead and unwind. And opposite side now. Left foot comes to the outside of your right thigh. Wrap your arm around. And a gentle twist here. Feel your right shoulder or your left shoulder kind of pulling back. Just twisting from the navel. Unwind. Maybe you stretch your legs out. Go to slide forward a little bit and come to lie down on your back. Place your feet about as wide as the mat and dip your knees into touch. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And notice your breathing deep into your belly. When we lie down, it's usually easier to get more breath into the body. So take advantage of that. Take a big, deep breath. If this position is most comfortable for you, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can stretch your legs out in front of you for Shavasana or final resting pose, corpse pose. And whether your feet are up or your legs are up or down, place your arms out beside you, palms facing up. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. Let everything just melt into the mat below you. Sinking down into the earth. You're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you can. If you only have a limited time today, go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists, your ankles. Maybe reach your arms up overhead. Big stretch here. Roll to one side. Maintain a little kind of a fetal pose here for a second. A breath or two. And use your arms to push yourself back up into a comfortable seat, whether that's on a cushion or on your heels. Take another few deep breaths here. Maybe bring your hands to prayer. To close our time together, I'm going to go ahead and chant Om one time. You're welcome to join or just listen in. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel rejuvenated from this practice and your legs will thank you for this. So thank you again. Namaste. See you next time.